Hey, this is Nili Brosh. I play for Danny Elfman, Dethklok, and I'm a solo artist with a new album out called Eventide. You are listening to We Go to 11.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
Hey, thanks so much, Neely, for taking some time to
Thank
chat with
you.
us.
I
This is
appreciate
going to
it.
be for We Go to 11, again, somewhat of a Spinal Tap reference, which we'll get to later as we chat. But a new record, Eventide. So again, that
Yeah.
just came out. I think you went to Europe, right? Are you back, right?
Yeah, I'm on the Dethklok tour now.
I was
Stay.
wondering because I knew
Yeah.
that was sometime mid-April, I think. So you're in the
Mhm.
middle of,
Yeah.
or just resuming that now.
Yeah, it just started.
Mhm.
We're like two shows in. Tonight's the third show, so yeah, pretty
We'll
pretty
ask
fresh. Yeah.
a little bit about that because that's a
Yeah.
huge thing for yourself too. But the solo record, tell us about that and how that went over in the live setting when you went to Europe.
I mean, I was really happy to finally be able to get it done and out there, released into the world. And I really enjoyed playing these songs live,
Mhm.
most of them for the first time. And yeah, I think the reception was good. Like I said, I had a great time playing
Yeah.
new, fresh tunes after a while. And yeah.
So how many did you put into the set, and how difficult is this now that it's album four, right? So I think you know it's
Yeah.
getting a little bit more difficult to fit the stuff you want in there.
Yeah, yeah. I think we did six,
Oh
uh,
wow,
which is
nice.
quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of them I did get to play live a little bit with my band before the
Mhm.
record was out. So I had a little bit of experience with that. But I kind of like having more stuff to choose from because I
Sure.
played similar set lists for my stuff for a long time and it kind of needed a refresher
Yeah.
for me anyway. So
And
I
you're
was
right.
happy
I
to get
mean,
to do
I
that.
think performing, you know, the amount of tunes that you inserted into the set list is kind of a thing that you don't see much anymore. I mean, I think back, you know, when we used to see bands release records, I think they'd put in like, you know, four or five new tunes into the set. Now it's like
Yeah.
you're lucky if you get one in there.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm lucky in the sense that my fans are not expecting
Sure.
more than, a few tunes that they feel like they really have to hear. And so I
Mhm.
think I still have some flexibility there,
Yeah.
It's maybe that's the blessing of not having like a hit album where you're
Yeah.
expected to like,
Sure.
pull a bunch of stuff from. So
Right.
I feel like I can get away with it.
Yeah, and you have guests on this record. So tell us a little bit about who made the cut on this and how that came about. I mean, I think there's some
Uh,
familiar names on here.
Yeah, so several of my Dethklok bandmates and bandmates from Danny Elfman's band are on it. We have
Mhm.
Brendan Small from creator Metalocalypse doing a guest solo. Uh, like I said, some Danny Elfman buddies like Elon Rubin on
Mhm.
drums. I have my dear friend Matt Log, drummer of now AC/DC, on the
Mhm.
record, and yeah, a lot of other friends and colleagues who just kind of thought would be fun to put them on there.
Right. And as far as like recording instrumental music, I mean, to me, that seems like it's more challenging than just throwing a vocal on there because, you know, you really have to do something musically to draw in an audience. I don't know if you agree. I mean, is that more challenging? I would think it'd be easier to just go, yeah, let's get a singer, throw some vocals on there and, you know, have somebody jot down some lyrics. If not, you know, sing it yourself.
Maybe I don't know. I don't have a ton of experience doing the other thing, at least not
Mhm.
for my music. But to me, I just kind of always uh, focused on coming up with the melody lines first. Anyway, that's
Mhm.
kind of where everything starts and ends for me, and is the focal point of everything. And so for me, that's where everything lives.
Mhm.
So I think that actually makes my job a little bit easier because I don't have
Mhm.
to think about lyrics. I just have to think about the catchy melodies and the arrangement
Yeah.
around them. And sometimes that doesn't end up with as many rhythm guitars as you may end up with on a vocal record where the guitar is not taking
Mhm.
the role of the vocalist, And so it's just natural to me.
When you're recording instrumental, stuff for your album, right? Do you get feedback? Do you run it past anybody and get a little bit of feedback, or do you just kind of go for it?
I mean, I have several trusted friends that
Hmm.
I'll send stuff to for for general feedback or for mixing feedback and stuff like that. But with this particular record, I didn't work with another producer or anything like that formally.
Hmm.
So it was a lot of just kind of my own instincts for the
Hmm.
first time in a while. Yeah.
Yeah. And with this record, I mean, pretty eclectic stuff. I mean, I think there's something for everybody, even if you're not into instrumental music. How would you describe it? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to offend you, but I mean, I
No,
think
it's
that's kind of the
not. None of
go-to
that stuff's offensive.
guitar-oriented instrumental music, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty clear to anyone who's listened to several of my albums that by
Hmm.
now, I like to dabble in different genres.
Hmm.
It's always something a little new and a little different with every record. I think that's just my way of not getting bored with the
Hmm.
same stuff over and over again. I don't particularly enjoy writing the same record over and over. I kind of feel like I said what I said and I want to move on to other things. And I've never tried to pigeonhole it in one way or another. I've kind of
No.
just always let it be what it was going to be wherever I'm at that particular moment. So this is where this moment is. And
Yeah.
I was good with it.
And I think, I mean, that's kind of a consistent thing with yourself. I mean, you're doing always something a little bit different than the other thing,
Right.
right? Your solo
Right.
music is different from Dethklok, and the Elfman music is different
Right.
from everything else. And then you've also done like Cirque du Soleil as well. So I
Yeah.
mean, you got
It's
like a
always
foot in
different.
everything. So is that
Yeah.
what keeps it fresh for you?
Pretty much.
Hmm.
Yeah.
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 And what about, okay, with Danny Elfman? I mean, first meeting with him, what was that like? Because again, I would think that there was a little bit of anxiety there.
Yeah, of course, there were nerves. But he's really great at making everybody feel comfortable. He's super down to earth and cool and nice and approachable. So that went away very quickly. And he's always made me feel like part of the family and so yeah, I've always felt comfortable and luckily at home there.
Yeah. And then you like you said, you're right currently on the Dethklok tour. And I think you guys have is it a Monomarth?
Mhm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's gotta be nuts. So
It
okay,
is.
so
Yeah.
then this started, yeah, 2 nights in, I guess, two
Mhm.
shows in at this point.
Yeah.
How long do you guys go out on that? And then what's the game plan with anything related, whether, the Dethklok or any of the other projects? Obviously, you're probably going to do some promo for this live record in the live setting in the US, I'm guessing.
This tour is pretty long. It's about 30 shows. So we'll be out till the end of May. And then there's going to be more Dethklok and more Danny Elfman stuff later
Mhm.
in the year. Uh, and with my signature Ibanez coming out,
Oh
I
yeah,
think
that's right.
there'll be, some potential clinics or something else. But I'm going to see where more support for this album is going to be fit
Right.
in the rest of the schedule.
Yeah, it's wild.
Because I'm trying not to like run myself into the ground.
And how do you keep that balance though? I mean, because you have a lot of irons in the
Tough.
fire kind of thing, so you
Yeah,
have to pace yourself, otherwise you're gonna
you
get
do.
fried. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. And it's not always within your control, like every year is different and
Hmm.
you're a part of a few different things. Every year is like, this year we're touring a lot. Last year it wasn't as much. You just kind of
Hmm.
have to take it when it comes and hope that you can build the rest of your life around it with a little bit of thoughtfulness so that you're not,
Hmm.
making everything crazy. So
And what are some things that you do to keep your sanity, like when you're traveling? Like you just got back from Europe, obviously you did
yeah,
some
it's
touring there.
hard.
Yeah. I mean, is there particular things that you do, like, I don't know, meditate, or I don't know, whatever
Yeah,
some people do.
meditation is definitely a big one. I'm not very good at like keeping the streak alive. Like
Hmm.
I'll do it really well. I'll do a good streak for a while and then I'll kind of like fall off the wagon and have to restart.
Right.
But getting as much rest as I can. I pretty much lay low on the days off. I just try to sleep as much as possible,
Hmm.
stay hydrated like eat well and just try to have as much routine as possible, which is a little bit easier on a tour like this because the daily schedule is pretty much exactly the same. So once you get on a
Yeah.
roll with it and into the new routine, it is a little bit easier than that, like,
Yeah.
they're not, no two tours are the same,
Sure.
but this one's a little bit more
Yeah.
consistent. So
You said
it
like
helps a lot.
30 dates
Yeah.
or something, 30
Yeah.
shows, right? What's better, to have a day off in between, or just plowing through the whole thing? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess
Well,
there's
I mean,
preferences
I wouldn't want to do 30 in a row. You know
there.
what I mean?
That's nuts.
Yeah, no, I mean, nobody, it's kind of difficult to do that in the States just with routing anyway.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So, but this one is pretty stretched out. We have a lot of days off, and it depends, like sometimes you feel like you want to have a few more in a row and have a little bit more of a getting into the swing of things. And sometimes you're just like, I know I just did one show, but I could really use a day off. So
Right.
it just depends on where you're at,
Yeah. As far as with yourself, I mean, do you still experience some kind of anxiety hitting the stage or anything like
Yeah,
that? And
of
how
course.
do you manage that? Because again, I've been, told by people in the past that, if you don't get a little bit of anxiety, it just means that you don't care. And obviously, if you have a little bit of that allows you to, deliver the goods.
Yeah, no, I think that's true. And I try to remind myself of that when I do feel anxiety.
Mhm.
A lot of my anxiety is about like the rest of the day
Mhm.
and
Oh, yeah.
sometimes, like maybe sometimes going on stage ends up feeling like the most natural part after I've worried about
Right.
it all day.
Right.
But I don't know, it's just you kind of just have to power through and believe in the concept of habituation, which is to say that, like, you might
Mhm.
feel anxiety, but if you're out there long enough, like your nervous system acclimates to the situation.
Sure.
And it's not like you're going to get desensitized completely, but the reminder that you have done it enough times for it to be familiar is
Mhm.
helpful to the anxiety.
Yeah.
And it also helps that you have a whole team that's
Oh,
there
yeah.
to help you and look
Sure.
out for you at, like they're chaperoning, for lack of a better term. You know what I mean? It's not like you're out there on your own with no help. So it's much more comfortable to be in a situation like this where you have everyone like making sure you're okay.
Mhm. Is there anything in particular you have to have with you on the road? I mean, aside from your guitar and all the gear and everything associated with performing.
I do have some food allergies, so those
Okay.
have to be
You have to
accommodated
watch out for
me.
those.
I gotta make sure that I have food that I can eat.
Sure. Sure. Well, that's
And
important. Yeah.
water. But yeah, no, nothing like,
Nothing extravagant or anything
Well,
difficult.
well, I do travel with my own pillow because I have
Oh,
neck
there
stuff.
you go.
So
No,
that's
that
good.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did pick up the record, so good
Oh,
stuff.
thank you.
And I love
Thank
the
you.
fact that you guys do the pre-orders and you do the signed copies, because
Oh,
I think that's
thank
a
you.
little
I'm
extra
glad.
extra
Yeah.
something to encourage people to go out and buy it. But on this record, I mean, what would be, if you had somebody that it wasn't familiar with your music and anything, which tune would you say for them to check out?
I think maybe the title track
Ah,
is one
yeah.
of my favorites. Yeah, I think it's it's a strong melody and it's a sound or a sonic direction that I
Mhm.
kind of really liked to work with on this album. So
Yeah.
I think that's a good example from it.
Nice. Is there gonna a chance any more music videos? I mean, you could squeeze any more time to do.
Yes, they're,
Maybe they're in the can. I don't know.
no, they're definitely planned.
Okay.
I just ran out of time to actually
You kind of figured,
physically
right?
film them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts.
But yeah. But
I
yeah,
was gonna. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, like, once I'm home in the spring, I'm definitely like,
Oh, there you
working on
go.
filming more stuff.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about the Iron Maidens, because you were in that band for a little bit. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved with them and length of time you were there. I don't recall exactly
So
the
that
timetable on
was,
that.
yeah, that was like my first gig out of college. So it was like 2010,
Okay.
really long time ago. I was still living in Boston, and one of my friends saw their LA Craigslist ad.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, I don't live in LA, but
Right.
I can least I could do is just send a message and see what happens. And they brought me out for a couple shows just to see what happens. And I ended up filling in for a bunch of stuff for several years after that. And
Mhm.
it was a great experience of kind of getting my feet wet in the industry.
Yeah, and it amazing
It's
that
really fun music to play.
yeah, and they're still going. So I mean,
Oh
it's
yeah.
like they have. I think they're really only rotated guitarists. Really, is the only thing that they've shifted over the years. But I think overall, I mean, it's been pretty consistent as far as lineup and stuff. So
Yeah,
nice.
absolutely.
All right. So okay, did we miss anything? I mean, we talked record, we talked the set list for the European tour, Dethklok, Danny Elfman, meeting Danny Elfman, a stage
Yeah,
fright or anxiety,
yeah,
signature
yeah.
guitar. Now the signature guitar comes out this summer, you said.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So watch out for that. So
Yeah.
here's what we're going to do. So at the tail end of this thing, we throw out a question and
Okay.
ask the person we're interviewing whether they've had a Spinal Tap-esque type story. So is there one that you can share with us that you feel comfortable sharing? Because sometimes if it involves other people, you might want to not use that one.
I mean, the biggest thing I can think of is when I played at Coachella with Danny Elfman, which was my
Okay.
first show with him and his
Yeah.
first show
Oh,
live in
wow.
30 years, or as himself,
Sure.
not like Nightmare Before Christmas
Right.
or anything.
Right.
My amps were not working like 15 seconds before we went on stage. So that was,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know if you missed it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Did that come through?
Yeah, it came through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a bit of an emergency situation that we had to like get another amp on stage very quickly, and I didn't know what I was plugged into or what was going on. I just had to
Mm-hmm.
just go with it, and somehow, luckily, I somehow only missed half a song, which was, I think,
Wow.
a miracle and a testament to our techs, and I
Right.
somehow made it work. But it was the scariest moment of my life.
No kidding. I mean, we were talking about anxiety a little bit. That was probably a huge one. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Especially when, Coachella and it's live streamed everywhere.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Scary.
a huge gig. Huge gig. Hey, thanks so much. Hey, thanks so much, and safe travels.
No worries.
Yeah, take care. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it.